in order to grow your sales as a business, I mean, you want to make more money. You want the sales to go up. In order for you to be able to do that, please understand that this is not something that you're just going to stumble into by accident. There is actually a systematic approach that the most successful small business owners know about, and therefore they implement in their small businesses, and gradually they see a boost in performance in terms of sales. This is exactly what has worked for me. It has transformed my business, and I want to share it with you today. So this is where we should start. You need to know that there are 4 key performance indicators that you must track every single week as a business owner without fail. You see, key performance indicators are like, let's call them numbers or figures, specific numbers or figures that tell you in specific terms what your performance has been in a specific period. So let's look at them, and I'm going to explain why each of them is important. The first KPI that you must monitor every single week is your total revenue, the total sales that you've made. You must never close a week without knowing specifically how much money you have made. Let me tell you why this is so important. You should be able to know, for example, if your sales are growing week on week. So if this week you've made, say for example, 500,000 shillings, next week you have to aim higher. That means your sales are growing. But if this week you've made 500,000 shillings, you can also compare it to the previous week. How much money did you make last week? So if last week you made 300,000, this week you've made 500,000, it means there's already growth in your business week on week. That is good. So the reason why this KPI is very important is because it tells you if your business is growing or not week on week in terms of the money that you're making. That's one. The second one is the quantity sold. You must always know specific quantities that you have sold, whatever it is you're selling. If you have a retail outlet, capture everything on a paper or in a computer. You must know, what have I sold this week, in what quantities? Even if the quantities differ, maybe these are small bottles of something, these ones are big bottles, record everything and say, okay, this week I have sold maybe 10 small bottles. I have sold 30 big bottles. You must know specifically what you have sold. In a way, you want to know what has moved, but in what quantity it has also moved. Even if you're in the service sector, it is the same thing. You must know in specific terms what you have sold. Please be very keen. How many haircuts, if you have a salon, how many haircuts have you done? That's how you count what you've sold. If you own maybe a massage parlor, how many massages did you give out? You have to know the quantity of everything that you have moved. The reason this is important is also almost the same. This one allows you to know what people are buying the most in terms of quantities. Okay? It's very simple. You cannot know what to stock, for example, if you do not know specific terms of what has moved more and in what quantities. So that is 2. Number 3, this is perhaps one of my most favorite, in fact, the number of customers you have served. Every single week, please ensure that you know the specific number of customers that have walked into your outlet and how many have ultimately transacted with you. You want to be able to compare week on week. Last week, if you served 20 customers, how many have you gotten this week? Then if you've served maybe, for example, 30 clients this week, can you aim for 40 next week? The specific number of customers is so crucial. That is the third one. The fourth one is the average transaction value. Basically, you get your total revenue per week. You divide it by the number of customers that you've served. What this does for you is this. You want to know how much each customer on average is spending on your business, in your outlet, in specific numbers. If you've had 10 customers and you've made 100,000, then that means each customer has gotten you, because you get the number 100,000 divided by 10 customers, you get 10. That means each person has spent 10,000 shillings in your business. The question you should then ask yourself is this little? Is it enough? Is there room for improvement? Because you might be getting customers, but they're spending so little on your business. That means there's room for improvement. Now, guys, if you have a complete picture of this, you can then plan both tactics and strategies on how to grow a small business.